Hey guys, I started my journey to building a $100 million business 12 months ago, and things are not going well. I've spent $80,000 of my own money, and my business is not making any income, and our bank accounts are almost empty. Now, most people only start documenting their journey once they're already successful, but I wanted to document my journey all the way from, ground zero, all the way from rock bottom, all the way up. And I want to do that for my children so they can see what it takes to be successful. But I also want to do it for anybody who's got a larger than life dream, and who doesn't really know where to start, or maybe like me at rock bottom. So today I want to talk a little bit about productivity, because I know that's a topic a lot of people wonder about and maybe struggle with. And for a long time, um, I had no real productivity focus. And when I started working with my current mentor, I remember him asking me at the very beginning of our working relationship, he said, "How do you decide what tasks you do during the day?" And I really couldn't come up with a good answer. I think I answered something like, whatever pops into my head is what I do, which is a terrible way to plan your day, by the way, and a very poor way to be productive. So if that's what you're doing right now, hopefully this will be helpful to you. What I started doing, and this is a tip I actually got from Cal Newport in his book, Deep Work, which is a great book. But he says to plan every minute of your day. And initially I thought that was completely insane. It doesn't mean to actually go minute by minute on your day. What it means is to basically block your schedule so that you know what you're doing at every point in the day. Okay. And the whole point, by the way, is not to know exactly um, what you're doing at every minute of the day. It's simply to get an idea of where your time is going. So you don't have to stick to it 100%. If a task takes you a little bit longer than you thought, that's fine. But the idea is just to understand where you're spending your time. So the way I do this is I actually go into my Google Calendar, and I just break down my day into chunks. So I'll say, okay, from 8 to 9 in the morning. Sorry, from 7 to 8 is when I wake up the kids. We go to school. From 8 to 9 is when I do my analysis of the ads that I ran the day before. And then from 9 to 10, maybe I'm gonna create new ads. From 10 to 11 is my workout, etc., etc. And I do that for the entire day. And I'm pretty good now at sticking to it and understanding how long it takes me to do certain tasks, which I think is maybe one of the big problems people think they're going to run into is, well, how long do I know, or how do I know how long a task is going to take? And the answer is just you're going to find out over time, and you're actually going to get much better at understanding how long it takes you to do certain things. Now, I find this system works the best if you combine it with something my mentor calls the red dot system. So the red dot system, and I'll go deeper into this in another video, but a red dot is basically an absolute top priority. Think of a laser beam, and it makes that red dot on the wall or on the target. That's what a red dot is. It's that thing you need to do that is going to make the biggest impact on your long-term goals and on your success. So maybe your red dot today is creating new Facebook ads for your business, right? That's really going to be the thing that drives your business forward. And typically you wouldn't do any other task until that task is done. That's really your top focus. So during the day, you really don't want any more than 3 red dots, because then it kind of becomes useless. So what I do is the night before, I think of my 3 red dots, and then I plan my next day according to those 3 red dots, and I break it down. Every working hour, I know what I'm doing, and that way, when the next day comes, I wake up, I don't have to think, because thinking is where you're going to run into productivity issues. First of all, it takes time for you to start thinking, okay, well, what should I do, etc., etc., and then you're going to start making excuses as well. Whereas if you plan your day out the day before, objectively knowing what your red dots are, then the next day you sit down and you execute. So that, for me, that was the biggest eye opener and the biggest productivity hack. And I've been doing this for the past year, and I've found it immensely helpful. And you'll be really surprised how productive you are once you adopt the system. So I'll talk more about it in some other videos if you guys are interested. But until then, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.